Says we're live. Do you got anything?
Mm-mm.
Let me see if anyone can hear us and see us.
Commercials still good off, but
All right. I'm just going to say pardon me for my use of profanity. Things weren't cooperating.
I don't think they were offended.
Okay, good. All right, and it is 11 server. Welcome to this week's episode of Tips and Tricks Live. I'm Fiendish with Dimension Touring. I'm here today with Audzilla at Faeblight. She up and moved on me from Wolfsbane to Faeblight. There's still the cake morphing contest going on until next week. So if you haven't completed your entry, I know I haven't completed mine. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to get it done. There's 1 week left before this contest ends. Now I know last week on the roadshow I said that there was going to be a PTS update. Well, yesterday Tacitus, well, he had already made a liar out of me, but yesterday he posted on the Dimension Skype, which if you want to join the Dimension Skype, just throw him a PM. You know, throw him or Ocho a PM to get added to the Skype because it's a public channel. There's no big secrets or anything there. But yesterday he posted that things are going straight to live. Tentatively this Wednesday. Subject to change, of course, but as of now, the plan is for this Wednesday, with this Wednesday's update, there's going to be new building blocks. The Tier 5 limit of anywhere is going up to 2520. The new building blocks, there's glowing. I don't have any details about glowing blocks. There's metal. Metal is gold, silver, copper, bronze, and iron. Matte black blocks, which will be craftable for dreamweaving. The recipe is going to be for marks from Bob at Chorberg. I have no idea what the mats are or anything. So, and then they're getting rid of the Shalkorva lockbox and adding in 2 more lockboxes. One is an Imperial something or other lockbox, and with that one they're adding a lot of stuff from Sanctum and Meridian. Oh yeah, I'm
Why
pretty
didn't you tell me this so I didn't nerd out on the live stream? God.
I'm pretty stoked about the stuff from Sanctum and Meridian. I hope my RNG is with me and it gives me more stuff from Meridian than Sanctum. And there's no details about what kind of stuff from Meridian or Sanctum. And then there's another lockbox. The Corvin boxes and the Shell Corva boxes are both going away. You're probably not going to see too much of that stuff again until 4.0 goes live. They said a lot of the stuff from those boxes is going to be a Stan's loot item.
Okay, I need to mute myself. Hold on a second.
At any rate, the second, what they're, Alejandre, the reason why he said this stuff did not go to the PTS was because they're working on the 64-bit client and it was just a lot of issues, so they said that internal testing would be done and then it'll go up just straight to live. So
I don't even care if it's glitchy. I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah, well, I didn't even talk about the second lockbox yet, which is a mount box.
God, what?
It's basically mount NPCs that you can put in your dimensions.
Okay, I'm muting again.
And one of those NPCs is you has a rare chance to drop um, the talking horse from Paladin. We just had Summerfest, so if you remember what that horse looked like, there is a chance for this lockbox to drop it. Oh, and mailboxes. Dimension mailboxes are coming too. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know how you're going to top any of this information on the stream now. We probably should have ended with that. I'm not even kidding. Just a few nights ago, I was raving in the middle of the night about how I wanted like budgie NPCs and glowing blocks. I had no
Well,
idea any of this was coming.
I'm not entirely sure that the budgie's going to be on the loot table list for the mount lockbox, um, but I know for sure that horse is, and I think he said something about values and um, some other stuff. I don't remember what it all is. So yeah, I'll I'll try to look it up and post it. Um, but yeah, this week is supposed to be a good dimension update.
All right, checking my bank account.
Yeah, it's like
100 credit.
here's my paycheck. Do I know the costs? No, I don't. Um, he didn't post the cost of anything. Um, I know that the metal building blocks are going straight to the store, so he didn't say if those were going to be a credit only item or if those were going to be like a plat and credit item. I would imagine, now this is just my assumption, I would imagine any lockbox is going to be credit only. I would imagine that any mailbox is going to be credit only. The glowing blocks may be credit only, but I don't know. Most building blocks are going to go for platinum and credits. Um, there's been a lot of feedback, not all of it positive, about things like building block scratchers that we've sent to him, um, especially the limited item or the limited time random scratchers like the colored limestone. Whew. Yeah. So he dropped that bomb last night, and it was like, oh my god, yes. So now we're going to try to get into our actual purpose here, which is um, talking about furniture morphing. Now I've
I don't
got
even care anymore. I'm done. It's all you.
yeah, when you've got your fish thrown too.
I got my fish thrown and you go ahead.
Um, Now I'm totally distracted. I put these houses up here for just like a little bit of context because I can't, well, I can morph furniture on sand, but I don't really want to. Um, that is going to be the focus is on furniture morphing. I've got a couple pieces that I put together in here just as like a starter. Now there's no light, there's no greenery around it, there's no nothing except for just these frames. These two frames here, the two little ones, they came out of Sanguine Shores builds, um, and so they're both really small. Now this one here is a larger frame because I had the frame built, and then I decided I wanted to move it, so I put it in here. Now there's nothing currently in it. I just have the frame with all the room cutouts. So we're going to hop over and see this frame with all the stuff in it. And that one I'm going to Snow Bunny Hideaway.
I'll be right here.
Okay.
Filling on my fish thrown.
So this is where we can see the furniture. Um, I'm real lazy when it comes to making furniture. If it works, I'm just going to reuse it again and again and again and again and again. And I might just like reskin it to a different color, but I'm usually just going to um, Diva. You should be doing this, Diva. I'm just going to reskin it to a different color because most of the time the same thing will work. So this is that frame, but here it is, and it's in a completed state. And I like smaller places. I'm not gonna lie. I do like smaller houses just because they're easier to work with and get more detail into. So we'll go back and we'll start actually making some stuff.
I totally agree with that. If the furniture works, yeah, I
Yeah.
just steal it from Fiendish and
Hey,
reskin it.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. A lot of my furniture is actually up on DA, especially some of the older pieces. The new stuff, I try not to put anything on DA that's from a random scratcher. So things like colored pillows and stuff like that, unless it's red, I'm not gonna load on DA. The exceptions I've made have been like a couple mirrors that use painted wood because now we have the reskin feature, so we can just, if you don't have pink wood and don't want to use pink wood, just reskin it out to something else. So we'll start out with like some basic chairs because chairs are always, um, chairs are really, kind of simple. You got a seat and you've got the backing and arms. And for most chairs, because this is where I try to save my items, I'm going to use,
I already made a chair right over here.
yeah, that one doesn't count.
Aw. Got a seat and backing and arms.
Um, Now, old school, we used to use these green benches all the time, old school wise. Um, I still like them. Besides, they're only 4 gold a piece, so you really can't go wrong there. And then another old school thing is the flour sack. And I don't. You want. Kula wants design rights on my little testing dimension. Pretty sure everybody in here has at least move in place. And I just like can fiddle stuff around manually until I see which angle it needs to go to. Uh, so I can clean it up. Make that a little bit big. Oh, it's not going to be any bigger. But anyways, there's a simple, really cheap chair. I mean, trying not to block views here. Pivot function is okay for making furniture. Normally, when it comes to making furniture, I like to just make a template. Oh, did I not take it? Oh,
How you actually put spaces between your words? All of mine are like long, one
yeah.
long word.
I I put spaces in. Now, let me just get rid of this. If I want to take this chair and make a recliner out of it, all you got to do is cock out the bottom one,
Or rotate it.
or rotate it, or do whatever. then like beds. I think I should be able to. No, can't make that one.
Looks like it completely disappeared.
Yeah, because I just picked
Yeah.
it up.
Well, that's probably why then.
Awesome. I get to make a whole bunch of stuff from scratch here. So that means it's going to take a lot longer. I don't. I don't think. Uh, huh. So what do you think we should make?
I don't think we need to make anything. I think I got it covered.
You think you? Oh, because you have the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the fishy throne. Well, I guess it's interesting. Now, remember what I said about your chairs can be as cheap or expensive as you want. This is a perfect example of one that was probably pretty damn expensive. I mean, I guess creative.
And it vibrates.
Yeah. I mean,
It does all sorts of neat things.
let's
Me and Alejandre have the same thoughts right now.
try couches. Because I try to. And of course, let's see, fancy couch shell. Fancy red couch. I mean, there's a few things that I like to use when it comes to making any kind of furniture.
We have some suggestions, some sinks, some toilets, some lamps, some closets. Does closet count as furniture? I guess wardrobe
Yep.
would count as furniture. Yeah.
I mean, there's a pretty basic couch. It's the same thing as the one I put in here earlier. I just reskinned this one to blue, and then the blue and white pillows. No, I can't decide, because when it comes to furniture, there is a lot of stuff that you can make. Cabinets, like what for cabinets? What kind of cabinets? I mean, because there's, you got kitchen cabinets, you've got um, uh,
Cubby holes to put crap in.
yeah, cubby holes to put crap in. This week's presentation should be, yeah. All right. Let me see, mahogany. I make a lot of bookcase stuff. All right, let's come in here to the empty one. And I'm just gonna, oh shoot. Okay, don't laugh at this.
I don't even know what the hell you're doing.
I'm in my bank right now.
Oh. Oh my God. Sweet baby Jesus. How can you find it? Search function. That's how. Did you just put a bookcase down on my fish?
Yes. Okay, now this, no, I just loaded a set, Diva. I didn't create anything on the fly. This set is pretty basic, but it's way too big for this, so I'm going to shrink it. There we go. So how did we get here? I like the patterns off the mahogany bookcases. I don't necessarily like the books all the time. Now the thing is when you come to like these bookcases, let me get some lights. I have one kind of light in my bank. All the rest is in my guild bank.
That's a good question, Relaine, and I'll make sure that she answers that one.
Which one? What's that?
About shrinking it all together once you figure out your lighting there. The scale feature.
Well, I'm only using a 3 p.m. time of day, so the lights.
Those aren't very bright.
No, they're not. Okay. Is that better? Here.
Better, much better.
Well, stop the complaints and I'll just bring it outside.
I was complaining?
No. There we go. We're going to do it outside. I hope everyone can see okay. To make that particular cabinet, no, I'm sensitive. There we go. Okay, Relan, I see your question. How do you shrink it all together? Okay, if you have something like this and you want to shrink it as a single unit, you want to come to the scale function of Tinker Tools, and you want to click Relative and As Group. Now when you do that, you're shrinking it or making it larger as a percentage. So I've got Relative and As Group. I'm going to shrink it all together, 90% of its current size. So if I want to make it larger, it's the same thing. I don't know if that's if that makes sense or not, but that's how you can shrink and enlarge things as a group.
There's a trick with it though. If you make it too small and you want to make it bigger, you can't just put like a negative
No.
value in. So what I always do is I save it as a set before I start scaling it, so that if I totally screw it all up, because there's a lot of times if you scale stuff, the placement of each item will be moved out of place. It'll get all messed up. So you might want to just save it so that if it gets messed up somehow, you can start over. But that's what happened when I did the gazebo thing. They went from being nicely placed, like the rocks, instead of the edges touching, they were like smushed halfway into each other.
Use an As Group?
Hmm.
That's weird. That shouldn't have happened.
I don't know if it's based on the amount of items. I don't know how it works. All I know is that it got messed up, and I was glad I had saved it beforehand.
Okay. I've not had that problem. Yeah. Now remember also the things scale differently. So if you had something that scales, you already had a 0.25 and you were trying to make it smaller, that would botch it up if everything else is not at 0.25.
Yeah, when I'm building, I don't scale the individual items using the scale function. I just
Right.
use the slider. So I have no idea what value everything is at when I throw it all together and try to scale it as a group.
Now, were you doing it in like incremental pieces?
The group scaling?
Yeah, when you did it, were you like going a little bit at a time?
Yes.
Okay, so the dark wood and this mahogany case are already a pretty good. They're pretty close to each other in color. So you want a contrasting color to start making doors.
And this is the wardrobe or cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Guess it could be whatever based on what you call it.
Yeah. I mean, it's all based on context. What is it? What is it by? What is it surrounded by? What is it? So you can say it's a sideboard if it's in the dining room. It can be your closet if it's in the bedroom. Um,
It's whatever you want it to be, darling.
Pretty much. Now, if I want to make sure that this is like the door marker is centered, there's a real easy way to do that one. And that's when if you come into move, select both sides, and then hit these little spinny wheels, and that's going to annotate where it currently is. And for this, you do want absolute checked. And so you're going to basically take the selection point of this item and move it to there, and then you just have to slide it up or back, whichever.
Whoa, we jumped. We jumped into complication. Is that based on the mahogany boards you put on the side?
Well, what I did, I took these two darkwood pieces to find their center point. That's where the arrows are lit up now. Hit the spinny wheels, and that gives the current position of the center of the selection point where all the arrows are. So then when I select this mahogany plank, I want to move it to that same position side to side. I'm not concerned about front to back or up and down. I'm concerned about side to side. So that centers it. And then I just need to come up with something to make a handle, and I don't like those at all.
You're all precise. I just stick it in the middle, look with my left eye, look with my right eye, and go, good enough.
Sometimes I do that, but for most things, especially if I'm making a template, I want to be more precise. Go into more detail with what I'm doing. Okay, Verlan asks the spinny wheels. Yeah, I do have tutorial videos on YouTube, um, and then written tutorials on the DTC that talks about all the different functions. I don't know what else to call this besides a spinny wheel. It's the Let's bring the move window up. It's these wheels that are on the sides of the text boxes. So when I say spinny wheels,
Yeah, because we can't see our mouse cursor.
yeah, but can you see the things lighting up?
Yeah.
That's what these are. Now that little tidbit there about the move, I did not actually know about that when I did those tutorials. Links 3D taught me about those later. So, but that's an easy way to find a point. And there you go. There's a real simple little cabinet, and it doesn't. You can put it on a room that doesn't have a lot of leeway between walls. The only thing that will be a constraint on using something like this is you got all this stuff underneath. So you might not want to put it on a second story. Another kind of cabinet. Here's everybody's favorite standby, or maybe just my favorite standby, the bookcase. The ones that are on the store for like one plat a piece or two plat a piece. Every once in a while you can find them on the auction house for a deal, for less. And then you can go with the top side or just use the underside to make a base. And then you can slap some planks or whatever, and there's already a dividing line in it. So all you have to do is basically cover up the books. And it can be with whatever texture that you want to use. And just move it in. And I'm just going to keep reusing these things. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that.
Little itty bitty handle. Big old cabinet.
Well, when I size handles and stuff, I'm trying to size it off of your character's hands. If you look at your character's hands, they're not exactly huge. Um, I'm
I'm
not
a bommy.
I'm not really touching on too much with the proportions here, and actually this cabinet proportion wise is not that bad. This one is a little bit better. Uh, but there's another version here, and I did not put any handles or anything on this. This is hi baby. Yeah, my dog's in here saying hi.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No, I'm talking to my boy. He's trying to help. Now, in instances like this, where I've got these benches, I have to try to account for the seat. So, only doing it one layer thick here is not really going to work. So I ran, now let me get these things out of the way. So you can see how this one was put together here. There's like three wides in the middle, and then there's two narrows on each end. And then there's some planks just to kind of help cover everything up. And then you rotate your benches to however you want to set those in. And you'll see a lot of cabinetry on every shard using these long vervain pinches, because once upon a time when you could only fish, well, you can fish these up. They're not on the store. Once upon a time, that was like the easiest thing ever that we could get and use. And then on the back, there's just another one with the smooth side out. And it doesn't really matter which side you have out, as long as the sides are flush and the
Make
top
sure you
is
build
flush.
deep enough to sink those into them.
Huh?
I said, make sure you build deep enough to sink those into.
Yeah. Well, it's not just the the chairs, but how much room do you have for this outside wall? Because this one was from a Sanguine Shores build, like I said, there is no leeway. I didn't skip any. I didn't put any extra items in to make false walls or false floor. I'm not really going to talk about structures and stuff today, because that's structure's a portion
Yeah,
of a
that's a whole other
structure.
animal.
A
Just a little
portion,
tip.
yeah. That structures by themselves would cover several hours, and then all of these are basically combinations of the same thing. As you say, I've made the skeleton of um, a vanity here. And I didn't make sure anything was straight. Um, I just flipped some bookcases upside down, and then put some planks in. Now, if I could put a water tile or whatever in this little square frame, and then I could have a vanity, and then all I would have to do would be to morph um, clutter and details on the vanity top. Same thing with this here. This is basically like a little nightstand dresser made all of narrow bookcases. And there's 4 of them. Because with them being a little wider, um, I just wanted a little bit of extra thickness. Tessiera says hopefully the new metal will be shiny enough for mirrors, and that's something I also hope, because I'd really like to take my water out and put in silver. And hopefully it won't be all prohibitively expensive either. So when it comes to lamps, as we've talked about chairs, couches, chairs and couches are all really easy. Um, and they can be as fancy or as plain as you want. Normally, I'll try to make 1 or 2 things that's really, really item intensive and out there, and then I'll try to save it somewhere else, like on a table. Because if all I need to do to make a table is plunk down um, like this, and there we go. That's about as basic as you can get with a table. 2 items. And that it's not centered or anything, it's just, you know, really simple. Something easy to do. And I do make a lot of my furniture with building blocks as opposed to morphing items like these. The exception sometimes is with beds. I actually stole this bed idea from Diva. So that's why I said she should be the one teaching this particular stream. She should be the one covering the furniture. Because I would not normally ever think of using these bolts of cloth to make a mattress with. And I didn't even use too much of the add-on. I copied and pasted to get the same scale, and then just manually rotated all the bolts in. But I mean, like, even for a, let's see, if it's for Sanguine or some other small place like that, you could still just use your bookcases and create your own headboard and footboard and stuff. If you don't want to just stick with what you already have. I think I'm out of those. No, I'm not. Oh, let me get rid of that. Because we all want to use stuff, you know, that doesn't look like everybody else's stuff.
A lot of everybody else's stuff looks amazing, so.
It does, but I mean, there's a lot of people that are real sticklers about well, I'm going to be original and I'm only going to do my own thing, and that's fine. Chances are pretty good that the thing that you thought you were doing that was original has probably already been done. I'm just throwing that out there.
I learned that on Jada's stream last week on touring her dimensions on her Star Trek one.
Yeah.
She had some neat console stuff, and I've been working on some consoles, and I was like, really? Now I have to go back in and make some new stuff. So probably focus more on stuff you like
Yeah.
and not so much on trying to make it completely unique because you're
Yeah.
probably going to end up being disappointed.
I mean, when it comes to like household morphine and stuff like that, I'm not really too concerned about being, like some kind of trendsetter, super original type person. What I want is something that makes me happy. Do I want to go hang out there? I saw Alejandre had posted a while back on the forums a thing about therapeutic building. And honestly, houses are a pain in the butt, but they're actually really relaxing for me because that's where I come to try to figure out, well, how can I do this? Um, I say houses are my nemesis, and to, and that's probably always going to be true. Houses are my nemesis. There's always something about a house that I don't like. And I mean, I've built a lot of houses.
That sounds really fun. That does sound relaxing. I hate it. I hate houses. So cathartic.
Wardrobe closet has probably already been done. Well, I mean, yeah, I do have a lot of houses. Um, Houses are practice, continual practice. And it is problem solving. Alan and I just said I feed off of problem solving, and to an extent that's true, um, because I think that's relaxing to approach things from a problem solving point of view, from something more. I'm not artistic. I'll be the first to admit I'm not artistic. Um, I'm very literal, so it took me a very long time to 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 see that an orange jug is more than a jug. And to an extent, an orange jug is um, like a salt and pepper shaker. It's knob handles, and that's about it as far as I'm concerned. Like Raloir's chair, building from orange cork jugs, like I never would have made that leap.
I used a shit ton of them lately in a console as push buttons.
Yeah.
Upside down, of course.
Um, so there you go again.
You know what? I'm so done with Nightbot. I was warning everybody to hide their throat because Prickly just showed up.
Again with the chair. Well, I mean, right now, um, I haven't been building anything. Um, Diva blasted me out on her post, which was a really good post the other night, about how I'm off playing WoW. And yes, I have been playing a little bit of WoW.
Traitor.
Well, technically, since I played WoW for many, many moons before I started Rift.
I want to hear it. They're using a picnic basket.
Yep, picnic baskets.
Get that little wicker effect.
Yep. And then, like, when you're talking about furniture, like chairs and stuff, mixing textures never hurt. Textures and colors. Um, and I mean, I like making chairs more than couches. I thought I had my big couch saved, but I don't.
You can tell by the furious typing that she, in fact, does not.
Wait a minute. Nope, that's a different couch. Don't ask me how I can keep all these couches straight because I don't think I really do. Yeah, that's. Oh.
Made how many couches in Rift? Just make another damn couch. That'd be faster than going through your entire list to see if you have one.
Actually, shoot, she's still on cooldown. Do you got any teardrop windows?
No? You need a guild banker?
Yeah, mine is still on cooldown.
Alright.
I was trying not to have my bags overloaded, and that didn't really work. Make a lamp.
There, I contributed to the stream. I dropped a guild banker.
Okay. Teardrop.
I have fish. That's what I have. I have a couple more fish in my bag. You're welcome
Alright.
to them.
So, lamps. There's lots of things you can make lamps from. We'll take some books, and then we'll take some vases of different sorts. Oh, the chat's all talking about wow.
You did that. Listen, people, focus. We're about to build a couch.
No, we're about to build a lamp.
Oh.
Sailor specifically requested a lamp. So it's pretty much any vase that you want to use. And then how do you want to top that? I'm taking too long, sir. Sorry. So this will be the last time we ever talk about furniture morphing or any kind of morphing on this screen because I'm apparently horrible at it.
Just being a big crybaby.
Yep.
It's taking too long. I thought you were doing good, but whatever. What do I know?
So what I did, I put this vase down and shrunk it a little bit. Now, if this was actually going inside one of my houses, this would be really super small because I don't make rooms big enough to justify a huge lamp like that. So I'm going to just eyeball it to try to get this scroll centered on this vase. Then I want it to be proportional, so the lampshade should stick out just a little bit past the widest part of the vase. Alright, and then I'm going to copy and paste multiple items. I'm not going to use custom pivot. Alright. Copy, since I'm making a full circle. And there we have a lamp.
Hello.
Yep. Well,
Mentioned touring company.
yeah. So, I mean, you can add more if you want, like a thicker lampshade, or you can, you know, use books or whatever you want. Personally, I like the open scrolls, so that's typically what I stick with. Um, yes. Vein chair lamp.
And then you just pop a light effect in there.
Yep, and then you put it whatever lamp effect that you want to use in there.
Jesus, did you see how tall this ended up
Yeah,
being?
that's why I said, normally I would never use it outside of something like this. If it was going to be inside an actual um, thing, it would be much smaller. In fact, we'll just go ahead and select the whole thing,
Here you go, Relay.
and then
We gonna
again with the
scale it?
scale,
Yay.
I'm going to try to make it,
Let's go for about half a bommy.
and I'm just going to use small increments until I've got it about the right size. And there we go.
Boom.
And I already have a spot for it.
That's adorable. Oh. Did you pick it up?
Yep, picked it up and moved it in here. And we'll just slap a light in it.
Ooh.
And so that one's done.
Prickly likes the bed.
Yep.
So 15 minutes ago, Prickly.
Now here comes another lamp. Which just goes to show that you really can make stuff out of anything. Those are Brevane chairs. And a vase. And now with that one, just for the sake of this, we're going to make a little bit bigger. And it's the same thing with the chairs. That was the save set, because I had actually used that lamp in a dimension. Well, you can use whatever kind of light source that you want. Like if I want, it all depends on what kind of light you want. Do you want candlelight with the flickering, or do you want a brighter light like from Dreamweaving? Um, knowing that each of the Dreamweaving lights is different. Yeah, that almost looks like Martha says she can see a doodle in that lamp. Yeah, it looks like a hat on a face. Lately my thing has been to take these lamps or the lampshade. Oh my dog. What do you
Oh.
oh
I'm trying to build stuff.
okay, I'm gonna move that out of the way.
Did you take my pumpkin?
No, I just moved it out of the way because I was selecting all those chairs.
I was gonna give the lamp a face. Fine, I'm gonna go sit on my fish strong.
Oh, shit's it. Shucks. because I didn't select the right thing. This is what I've typically been doing with these chairs lately. It's just making those bowls. So if you've gone into any of my dimensions lately and seen like a big fancy bowl, that's how it was made. I would just take the lampshade and turn it upside down. And if you know you have a lampshade that you like, but you don't want to keep this thing, whatever base that you have, all you got to do is just swap it out for something else. Yeah, the house that I used those in was actually meant to be like an old manor type house. It wasn't one that we showed a couple weeks ago on the road show, which is good because you want dark. That one's using a pitch black sky. Alright, so we've made some lamps, we've made some cabinetry, we've got just a little bit of time left. I talked a little bit about how to make that bed. I don't really want to cover sinks and stuff because that's, I think kitchens and bathrooms would pretty much be their own thing. All this is nothing but like corner posts and some pillows. I like to try to cover up all these overlapping pieces. These are just some burlap sacks turned end to end for the pillows, and there's nothing actually under here. Let me.
Am I in your way? Want me
No.
to move away from your bank?
No, you're fine.
I'll go back to my throne.
Let's take a reception table just for. You'll see a lot of beds morphed out of these. And you can either leave this here or cover it up depending on, like how, what kind of bed you're making. Holy crap, I can't find anything. Help. My bags look like crap. Alright, this will work. We'll just go blue. Ooh, we gotta remember to fix the settings. And I'm not,
While she's building this, if you're interested in winning something, go ahead and type something in chat. What are you giving away?
We are giving away snails and corgis
Together or separately?
together.
Oh,
Because remember, I
nice.
said I was lazy.
Hey, good, because that'll save me from having to re-roll on all the damn snails.
Three, three of them.
3. Okay, so I'm gonna roll for the first one. What? Oh, sorry. Tell me there's no eligible users to win the giveaway. Hmm. That'll work. Ugh. Diva may have to come save me because it's not letting me. Oh.
Okay, because I'm logged into Nightbot.
Alright, then you can do it.
Okay. Well, hold on a second. I just,
You're done with your fancy pants bed.
yeah. Well, you saw how long this fancy pants bed took to make, so it doesn't have to be even anything that takes a long time. And that'll let you, that's your own custom bed, um, in just a couple minutes. And of course, if you were actually putting it in a build, you would clean it up and make sure that these spheres were centered on the poles. I mean, it's basically just using the table for the bed and then adding in your own headboard and footboard. Um, I would probably want to make the poles smaller as well as make these planks more narrow because that would be more um, proportional and realistic. Hey, looks like you're working. Martha's one. Okay.
Me? Picking up fish. I can stop.
Yeah, sucking up is the trick to win. But we were still rolling. That was I'm only counting one. And she says re-roll because I think we're about at full saturation.
Rerolls automatically go to me, just so you guys know.
No, that's not how that works.
What?
Sailor.
You sounded so excited. Sailor, congratulations. You have a corgi.
And Relan. That's for the snail and the corgi. Um, if you don't want them, hey, give them away to some guildies or whatever. Give them, sell them. I guess I don't know how much they go for. Um, did you re-roll the third one? Well, now you do, Relan. So if you want to hang out in the Twitch chat afterwards, I will send those codes out via private message. So it'll be over the messaging thing. Yeah, it's called regifting. Um, I don't know what I hadn't even thought far enough ahead about what we're doing next time. I know next week I'm taking the weekend off, so we're not going to have any kind of stream next weekend. And then on the 8th, of course, we'll be touring with Ashley at a special time, 3 p.m. server on the North American side for the entries to the cake morphing contest. And then after that'll be another tips and tricks. So no roadshow, no tips and tricks next week. What are we going to talk about next time?
Building with fish.
Building with fish. Okay. Um, so thank you for everyone that tuned in today. And remember, if you want something, please stick around because I'll be sending it over the Twitch message. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Good.
Hold on a second.